Yo, what's going on, guys? It's JMass, and I'm back again with another dope New England adventure. So I do want to be upfront and apologize for the very misty and foggy environment around me. It's a very foggy day out today. You can actually see from behind me. I typically prefer not to film on very foggy days. It kind of obscures the visuals. But I do have to make an exception for today because we have such a cool abandoned site we're going to be exploring. And I also have to admit, it looks pretty cool. I mean, check that out. All the fog around the tower. It looks pretty dope. But nonetheless, we have a really cool abandoned mill we're going to be exploring today. Now, I'm currently in the town of Winchendon, Massachusetts. It's located on the Massachusetts-New Hampshire state border, not too far away from the city of Gardner. And we're going to be checking out a mill known as Glenallen Mill, as seen behind me. Now, Glenallen Mill was opened in 1886 by the White Brothers Incorporated. They were a company that produced many things, but in the case of Glenallen Mill, they produced textiles. Now, as I mentioned, they opened up in 1886, but they closed in 1929, although the White Brothers Company persisted for a few more years afterwards. Now, Glenallen Mill is one of many mills in the area, but this is one of the few truly abandoned ones, and that's what we're going to be exploring today. I'll give you guys more information about the history as we explore the premises, see what this mill has in store. But I also want to say, I'm actually going to be joined by a good friend of mine. This guy has explored with me before. You guys might remember a couple months ago, I explored Fort Williams Park up in Maine. He was there with me, and he's joining me again. This is my friend Jesse.
Hi everyone, it's good to be back. Very excited to check it out today.
Yeah, so Jesse's a good friend of mine. We've known each other for years. And as I said, he's explored with me before. He's joining me for a second time today here at Glenallen Mill in Winchendon, Massachusetts. You excited?
Dude, I am so excited.
We're hyped. So we're going to get right into it, guys. As always, if you love urban exploration, checking out abandoned sites, travel in New England, feel free to subscribe to me, or you can follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. And I also do want to shout out Jesse's channel. Jesse actually produces and writes his own music. He's a music creator, so I'll be, of course, linking his channel. Definitely check that out if you're into original compositions and music. But yeah, we're going to get right into it and check out Glenallen Mill here in Winchendon, Massachusetts. Neither of us have ever been here before. We're going in blind, and we're just going to see what it has to offer. Let's check it out.
Hell yeah, man. Let's go.
All right, guys, so we're going to get right into it and start exploring Glenallen Mill here in the town of Winchendon, Massachusetts. Now, I did just want to show you the exterior really quick. Really sick, especially against the fog. You got a huge brick building over there with the iconic Glenallen Mill Tower. And then you have this little more rusted house right here. A lot more rustic looking than the mill, but still pretty cool. And look at this building over here. Absolute decimation. So it's a bit of variety what we're getting today at this mill. But yeah, we're going to get right into it and check it out.
That's right, Jacob. And it looks like right here we have a garage, which I don't know too much about mills, but I would expect that this is probably one of the loading areas.
Oh yeah, I was thinking that too. They probably had trucks coming in like around the time that cars became available. Maybe even back with horses and buggies, they had just different types of vehicles coming in to load and unload textiles, you know, cotton, all that kind of products.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I agree. Yeah, it's awesome. All right, we ready to go in?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's check it out.
All right, so here we go.
Damn, this place is so sick. Look at this.
It's nice.
So yeah, this is the inside of one of the buildings, and I say that because this is a huge property. Looks like there's a lot to see here. I'm already seeing a lot of graffiti, so this is definitely a very well explored abandoned site. Also, definitely watch your step, Jesse.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Huge holes in the floorboards.
Yeah, it's definitely showing the wear and tear of time.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It looks like someone's been in here and made themselves a little skate park as well.
Yeah, check this out, guys. It looks like there's actually a makeshift skate park over here. Some of you might remember a couple months ago, I filmed at the Chemco building in Rockingham, Vermont. That place also had a makeshift skate park, which was really cool. You can see, I'm sure a lot of skaters come here to mess around. And again, these are like completely makeshift, completely impromptu.
Yeah, it looks like this is perhaps some of the fabric that was made here.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
From an old...
Oh, that might even be like a couch or
yeah,
something.
An old sofa or something.
Yeah, so these are completely made by probably local teenagers skating here. Really cool. Yeah, so we got this little makeshift skate park in this room. I've got a grind rail right here. Really cool stuff. I love finding stuff like this.
Yeah, this is very cool. It's very creative too.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, which way do you think we should go next?
I don't know.
So there's many different routes in this mill. I think maybe we'll head down here first. So now I believe we're whoa, get that right there. Whenever you go in these abandoned mills, you gotta watch your step.
Yeah.
Very uneven floors. Okay, now, yeah, so now we're entering the brick portion of the mill. So this is, as you can see from the architecture, brick. The other one I don't think was made of brick. Actually, it looks like it is. You can see it right here. This is the exterior of that building we were in. Looks like it's completely made out of wood paneling.
Yep, it looks like it's a separate building that's been connected.
Yeah, I think this must have been built after. So as I mentioned, this was built in 1886, and like most mills of that era, they're made of brick, but it looks like this was probably a later addition. But this looks like the older portion of the mill right here. And again, absolutely massive.
Yeah.
I love all these open windows right here. You got just a sea of windows. And again, I mean, you got to watch your step on these floors. Look at that. I almost wonder if we could get down there later. Maybe there's a way in.
It must be.
Yeah, there must be a way down there.
Yeah. And if you look up here on top of on the ceiling, you can see that they still left some of the parts of the whatever textiles they used in here.
Yeah.
They'd be attached to the top and they would all run together.
That is true. You guys can see they have hooks and wires still hanging up. Obviously, it goes without saying, this place is entirely gutted. There's no machines left, nothing. It's been completely emptied of everything that was once in here. So it is going to be a pretty empty shell of a building. But again, still pretty cool to explore, and I'm excited.
Yeah, that's right. Even though there may be no textiles in here, but the history remains.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Clean up on aisle 3. We got another massive hole showing off the basement again. I mean, these floorboards are insane. There's so much destruction and damage. You can actually see right here, it looks like there was a bit of a collapse on this upper level. You can see that this whole floorboarding has just caved in, and then you have all of the remnants of the wood just right here. The floor is just damaged. So this mill definitely has a lot of structural damage going on right now. I wouldn't really call this a safe building, so I wouldn't recommend you come here. But it is really cool to see. Just definitely watch your step. Same with this place. Look at this. A lot of destruction right here. Wow, that really goes down. This looks like it might be a little tower, actually.
Yeah. Who knows? This could have been maybe a way to traverse up and down. Maybe they had a...
that is true. Maybe a pulley system?
Yeah, pulley system so they can move different products up and down between the floors.
I think so, yeah. That might have been a pulley system. I know there's a much larger tower. I think it's over there. I don't remember, but I know it's a much larger tower. Let's see if we can go around here. And then I think we'll head over there. This is really cool, though. A lot of cool graffiti, too. As I mentioned at the beginning, a lot more graffiti here than I expected, because from the outside, you don't see much. But when you're actually inside here, there's a lot of cool looking graffiti. So clearly this is pretty popular with local graffiti artists, teenagers, I'm sure. All right, let's see what's going on in this little room right here.
Watch your step.
Oh yeah, geez. I think very poor floorboards is going to be a common trope for today.
I agree. It's what happens with time and abandonment.
Exactly, and weather, I'm sure. I'm sure this place gets so much snow. I'm sure the snow like really has a heavy toll. Yeah, pretty cool. I think we're gonna head over here. There's a couple more rooms, and later we're gonna try to get on the upper levels. The thing I'm most excited about though is the tower. I'm hoping to get to the very top of the tower. Hopefully there's some pretty cool views there. But yeah, join us as we keep on exploring Glenallen Mill, and I will get into more of the history very shortly. Okay guys, we're gonna head over here now, see what's going on. As we kind of wander around, I will give you a little bit more of the history of this place. So obviously this is a pretty obscure abandoned location. I don't know too many specifics, but I know a bit. I'm gonna tell you as much as I know. Wow, look at this. These stairs are completely covered with weeds and like vines.
Oh man.
Jeez. Well, I think we're gonna head up. We're gonna head up to the upper levels, see what's going on. But anyways, so as I mentioned, the Glenallen Mill was constructed in 1886 by the White Brothers Incorporated. And it operated until 1929. As I mentioned, it primarily manufactured textiles, textile products. A lot of cotton and fabric that came up from the south made its way up north to Winchendon, where it was then manufactured here in the Glenallen Mill. Definitely got to be careful on these floorboards, Jesse.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. So one glaring issue about this mill, and honestly the White Brothers company in general, that needs to be addressed, is that child labor was used here quite extensively. So this was constructed 1886, operated until 1929, and obviously during that time period, I mean, workers' rights weren't at the forefront as they are today, and that especially goes for children in the workforce. I mean, it was a much more impoverished time for Americans, and the reason why children worked at that time was just to make money for their families, extra income.
That's right. During this time, it's always important to remember that mills came around during the start of the Industrial Revolution, the very first time that humanity took this major step in mass production.
Exactly.
So there was not a lot of rules and regulations in place.
Exactly.
To protect the workers' rights and whatnot. In fact, most of the workers worked in company towns where they weren't even paid real money.
Exactly. It was called scrit. They were paid in scrit, which was basically a substitute for real American USD. And they were only allowed to spend that scrit at certain company-approved locations, like company stores, stuff like that. And I should mention that this mill was part of a company town owned by the White Brothers, known as Spring Valley. Now, I did mention Glenallen Mill is one of many mills owned by the company. These mills were all part of that big company town. And again, a lot of the labor was child labor. Of course, you had adults, but a lot of child labor. And, you can chalk it up to being a different time, but even back then, I think it was pretty egregious. I assume you would say the same.
Oh, I would agree. I think it's a little bit much to have kids beneath the age of 10 working in such an environment where you go in there and you know that there's a chance you might lose a limb. It was not the safest place to work in.
Oh, exactly. Especially compared to today, like our modern standards. So as we walk around this mill, and by the way, you can get a really sick view out here. As we walk around the Glenallen Mill, just keep in mind that it wasn't just hardworking adults here, but children, as this mill was very infamous for having child labor here. And you can actually see pictures of it online, actually distributed by the Library of Congress. But we're going to head up here, keep checking it out, and of course, watching our step.
That's right. Don't want to fall through.
Check this out, guys. I did just want to show you, you can get a good view of the exterior right here. So down there is where we started. That's the ground level. This is the level we were just in, and then it looks like there's one more level. So it looks like this is a 3-story mill with 3 levels. Also looked like there was a small basement, although I don't think the basement had any practical purposes, but at least a 3-story mill, which is kind of cool. And I'm glad that these stairs aren't covered in vines and shit, which is nice.
Yeah, you seem a lot more sturdier.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Although sturdy is not a word I would really use for most of this mill. When we were filming the last clip, Jesse saw I almost fucking fell through.
Yeah, much of the wood, especially if you check over here, is very rotten through.
Yeah, we're not even going to walk in here. Maybe we could.
We could if you skirt around the edge, but you can clearly tell right here that the support beams within the building are not standing up towards the test of time.
And you can see one of those support beams right there. It's not even holding anything.
Exactly.
So, again, I wouldn't recommend coming to this mill. It is extremely dangerous. Words can't even describe it. You just have to see this. Yeah, maybe we should head up the next level.
All right, let's go.
Oh, I'll show you guys another view over here. Check that out. So there's another portion over here. This is a separate portion of the Glenallen Mill. You can see that one is just absolutely destroyed. Looks like there's a bit of fire damage.
Yeah, I was about to say, looks like some sort of fire raged through that one. Who knows? Maybe the fire helped force the mill to go out of business. Maybe it could have ended its reign of terror. Entirely
possible, yeah. And actually, that does lead me into my next point. So the White Brothers actually persisted many years after the closure of this mill, but this mill closed in 1929. Now, I don't know specifically why this mill closed. Jesse and I were actually talking about it, trying to think of what might have closed this mill. One of the obvious ones is 1929 was the year of the stock market crash. Could have been a financial reason, a cut down on resources. Another potential reason was the South was beginning to industrialize at a much faster rate, and they weren't bringing as much product up to the North to be manufactured. And again, this was one of many mills owned by the White brothers. So it's possible they were just trying to cut down on resources. But this mill closed down in 1929, but the White brothers Incorporated persisted for many more years afterwards, until they too closed down in 1956. I remember reading that World War II was actually a very beneficial time for them because they did a lot of wartime production. But by the mid to late 50s, they were pretty much in the dumps and their company closed down. But this mill had been closed down decades prior. I think we might actually be in the tower right now.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. It doesn't look like there's quite a way up, but there is a little trap door almost over here that it seems to lead upwards.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it looks like oh, there's some piping there too. I wonder what that's for.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Jesse's saying, there's a bit of a trap door right there. So this is the main tower that I showed you guys at the start of the video that we're currently in. Doesn't look like we can go to the absolute top, but we are at least one of the top levels of the tower. And again, I just want to show you, super cool to see. This is the roof of the building we started in right there. This building we haven't been to yet, but that one looks crazy. A lot of damage there. Pretty sick.
Yeah, that's right. And judging by our location, this tower seems to be centered in the entire mill facility, which to me hints that this might have been the bell tower.
I agree, yeah.
So back then, this was the beginning of the industrialization and thus came around with scheduling and whatnot, having regular shifts.
Yeah.
So a bell tower such as this is quite common, you can see in a lot of mills, because as you would expect, a bell would reside in it and it would ring out at certain times of the day.
Exactly.
To say shift begins, shift break, shift end.
Exactly. The bell was basically their time card before time cards. It would tell them, you know, what the time was, when their shift ends, maybe when lunch is. So
that's right.
Yeah, well said. All right, I think we're gonna head back down, check out the other levels, and then we're gonna head to the other mill buildings that we haven't fully explored yet. But so far, I'm really liking Glenallen Mill. It's a really cool place to check out. Definitely one of the most dangerous abandoned places I've explored, but a really cool one nonetheless, with a pretty haunting history. All right, guys, so Jesse is gonna show me some stairs that he saw. Looks like the stairs actually head down below. As you saw from the broken floorboards, doesn't look like there's too much, but it does look like a pretty small basement level. We're gonna see if we can get down there.
That's right, Jacob. We're gonna see if we can find some hugs.
Yeah, hugs. Oh, free hugs down there. Awesome. I'm sure the people down there are very respectful and nice and not at all wanting to kill us.
They're very friendly. They have to be.
Oh yeah, so this is the basement level. Oh, actually a lot. Okay, I thought we were gonna be crouching the whole time. So that's good. It's at our height, which is nice. Oh, look at this. Hell. This is the entrance to hell.
We found it.
All right, let's head in here first, see what's going on.
Checkmate, atheist.
Oh, what is that?
That looks like some sort of doll.
A doll?
I think so. It looks like the
panther. Yeah. Look at this, guys. This is kind of creepy. Looks like some sort of deflated stuffed animal impaled on a metal pipe. That's a little sketchy.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
The Pink Panther has the answer.
Well, clearly he doesn't.
That's the 9-1.
Yeah, this place is wild. So, again, we are down below in the basement level of Glenallen Mill, and you can see it is super dark down here, but very cool. I don't think there were any practical purposes for down here. This was probably just maintenance. I'm sure there were a lot of pipes. I'm sure there were a lot of, you know, utility stuff. I don't think anyone was actually working down here, though.
Well, Jacob, so you say that. Back in the day, these big textiles, these machinery, there was no electronics.
That's true.
So everything, yeah. It was more gear-based. So if you look over here, you can actually see some of the foundation, because the machines that they would use would run both up and down through the floorboards, which is why it is so massive inside and out.
That is a good point. You're right. They probably use gears. I'm sure there was coal power down here, a lot of steam engines. I'm sure a lot of the utility was probably located down here, out of the way of the upper levels. And you can actually see they probably had machines here where you have these metal poles sticking out. That's kind of cool. You can see some of them right here.
That's right.
This place is huge. I didn't think the basement would be this big.
That's quite extensive, Jacob.
Yeah, it's massive. So I think Jesse and I are gonna keep heading down here. And once we've explored the extent of the basement, we're gonna head back up. It looks like we got 2 more major portions of the mill to explore. And then I think that about does it. So let's check out this end over here. Yeah, you can see where like you can actually see where the floors collapsed because there's just wood and glass and stuff underneath it. Crazy. Oh yeah, this was a huge, this was one of the very big collapses we saw. Check that out. Crazy stuff. Yeah, this was really cool. This was the basement right here. I think we're gonna head back up and check out the last few portions of the mill. Check this out, guys. We got a bit of structural damage in here. This is a little side room in the portion of the building where we first started. Just want to show that off. But I think we're gonna keep heading down here. We're gonna take a left down this corridor in a few moments, but Jesse, tell them what you found.
That's right. So, while we were just checking it out, take a look at this, guys. This is old insulation back in the mill when it was first made. Now, you're probably looking at like, who cares, right? It's just insulation. But this is old insulation. So there's a very high chance of asbestos being here in this building being used in the insulation. So it's just something to think about and remember if you do go exploring on your own, to be careful of where you are, to look at your around you and try to stay away from the asbestos as best you can, or else you'll be diagnosed with mesothelioma and seeking compensation.
That's a very good point, and that's something I do try to stress every once in a while. When you go urban exploring, one of the many dangers that awaits urbexers is asbestos, and a lot of older buildings built in the 1800s, 1900s contain asbestos, including the Glenallen Mill here in Winchendon. There's a lot of asbestos here. We probably should be wearing masks, but we're both very stupid, so we're not.
That's right, Jacob, and I'm not going to change.
Exactly. So yeah, if you ever go to an abandoned place that was built in the 19th or 20th centuries, just be very cautious. There's probably asbestos. A mask is much needed. But don't do as we do.
Yeah, take a look at this. You can see a whole bunch of the insulation ripped out of the walls of here. Walking through this corridor is probably going to be a major health risk.
Oh, I'm
sure. If any doctors are watching this video, please understand that we know we are doing wrong.
You know, this will take off probably a decade of our lives, but we're doing it for the entertainment of you guys. So.
That's right.
All right, so this is pretty, oh yeah, geez, look at this. Wow.
So it looks like this building suffered even more structural damage than the last building.
Yeah.
In fact, it looks like there's actually a bathroom right here.
Yeah, a little bathroom.
Once was a bathroom.
So I don't think we're going to be able to go in this way, but I did see alternative routes into this building. I think Jesse and I are going to turn around, find a different way in, but check this out. I mean, this is crazy. Look at the structural damage. This is the building that looked like it probably had some fire damage. You can really see it here, but we're going to find another way in. Crazy stuff, though. All right, guys, we're back outside again. This is the exterior of the building we just tried to get into, although you saw how bad the structural damage was in there. While we're out, I do just want to show you, that's the tower, the iconic tower. That's where Jesse and I were earlier. Looks like we were in that top part, but I don't think we were able to get on the very part of the roof. Yeah, pretty cool looking. So we're actually going to go over here. It looks like this is the way in safely, I hope. But you can see this mill, like this specific portion of the mill, in absolute disarray. There's been a lot of destruction. You can see like there's portions of just the facade standing up. I don't know exactly what happened here. My guess is probably a serious fire, some sort of horrible weather condition. But whatever it was, there is a lot of damage here compared to the rest of the mill, which, aside from the interior, is honestly in pretty good condition. Like, the exterior is not too bad.
Yeah.
But the interior is a whole other story.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah, check this out.
It looks like the entire roof has collapsed inside.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go in a little deeper, and I'll show you guys the inside, but yeah, crazy place. Check this out, guys. We were not kidding when we said that there's a lot of destruction and disarray here. This is absolute fucking carnage. So our best guess is that there was a fire here, On a lot of this wood, I see some char marks, but I kind of have a feeling it's probably a mix of a serious fire and probably just the elements, you know, weather and stuff. But yeah, there's no way we're getting further in here. I mean, this is just in horrible condition. Crazy stuff, though.
That's right. This place, no matter how good some of the conditions seem in the other building, besides the floorboards, including this area, which is completely wrecked.
Oh, yeah.
But it's important to remember that this place has been abandoned for almost an entire century.
That is true, yeah.
So, considering it all, most of the mill has withstood time pretty well.
Yeah.
Especially the main building. This building, not so much.
Yeah. This building clearly suffered some damage. But, yeah, the other building, I mean, as I said, closed in 1929. That's a little under 100 years ago. And I got to say, that mill over there, aside from the interior, the exterior isn't that bad. It's really that one right there and this one here. Like, it's night and day compared to these mills. I just wonder what happened here. Yeah. But,
surely.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to really go deep in here. It's just too destroyed. I did just want to show you guys, though, wild stuff. But yeah, this is the other portion, and yeah, pretty cool so far. All right, so Jesse and I are walking down here. We were trying to see if there was potentially another way in. It doesn't really look like it, though. I don't think we can really squeeze in any of these windows, but you can see the glass is just completely shattered on the exterior side of this wall. Oh, look at that. Maybe we could peer in there. Looks like this window, we might be able to peer inside.
Yeah, it looks like they weren't able to get everything out.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
When it was first abandoned, because you can see a bunch of the pipes.
If you shine the light there, it looks like there's a boiler.
Oh, yes.
A tank. Yeah, so I see some pipes, a boiler tank. Yeah, so there's definitely some stuff down there. I guess we'll walk around a bit to see if there's a way down, but pretty crazy place, though. I mean, this place is, I gotta say, way bigger than I anticipated. I genuinely did not think that this mill would be as big as it is. I thought it'd be a lot smaller. I don't know, what do you think so far?
I think this is very cool and very big.
Yeah.
A lot bigger than I thought it was. A lot bigger than it let on.
Yeah, definitely one of the more cool abandoned mills I've explored. Really fascinating to see. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna walk around a little bit more, see what we got, but did just want to show you guys the exterior here. Pretty interesting. Check this out, guys. Again, apologies for the horrible quality with the fog, but Glenallen Mills, 1886. As I mentioned, 1886 is when this mill was constructed by the White brothers. Glenallen Mills, yeah, crazy stuff to see that it's labeled right there. And this is the exterior right here, the tower we were in earlier. So we couldn't find a way in, but this could potentially be a way. So Jesse and I are gonna walk over here. If I had to guess, though, this mill was probably built first, 1886. And then it looks like these were later additions. That's my guess. Because this is completely made of wood. So my guess is that these are later additions to the mill complex. Let's see, is there a way? Oh, there is. So it looks like there is a way in, although not in great condition, obviously, but...
I'm not sure how far we'll be able to get in, but...
Yeah, not very far, unfortunately, but it does look like you can somewhat peer inside. Although it's, yeah, geez, very collapsed. It looked like there was another entrance. You want to check that out?
Yeah, let's go take a look.
This is our final Hail Mary attempt to see if we can get in this mill. Yeah, as you can see, a lot of vegetation, a lot of brush. I'm sure coming here in the summer is even worse.
Oh man, I don't even want to guess how bad it is in the summer.
Oh, looks like we can get down here. Let's check it out, guys. This is the basement level of the destroyed building. Watch your step, Jesse. Jesus. So much scrap metal.
That's right. It looks like the scrap metal is some of the metal that was once used to hold up the textiles within the main mill.
Yeah.
Which hints to me that perhaps this mill may have been still in use when it could have had a fire.
That's
considering
true.
How much seems to be left behind.
That's a solid point. I could definitely see that for sure. Yeah, so you guys can see it is destroyed down here. Ooh, what is this? Some remnants?
Remnants or just somebody's textbook.
Human Development, 10th edition. See if you can find a date. I always like, whenever I find records and documents and stuff, I always like to see what they're dated.
Let's see, is there a publisher? No, doesn't. Can't find it there.
Still pretty interesting. Random textbook. Yeah, check this out, guys. This place is just destroyed. Jeez. This is definitely the worst condition of any of the buildings we've checked out so far. And I think that's because it's just mostly scrap wood and scrap metal everywhere. Like, most of the buildings we checked out were just gutted completely. There was nothing in them. As Jesse kind of hinted at, it looks like there were probably still things down here when the fire occurred. They probably didn't completely gut this. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
looks
check
like there's
it
a
out, guys.
huge machine right here. What is this? I'm not very good with industrial equipment, so I don't know what this is, but you can see there's a huge machine right here.
Yeah, you can clearly tell that this was definitely one of the machineries used. In fact, it looks like there's actually a logo on it still from the company. IDM. IDM Euromatic. If any of you guys know what that is, please comment below. I'm personally not sure, but I got not a clue.
Wow, fascinating. The first piece of machinery we've seen.
Yeah. May not know what it is, but it is still really cool to look at.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And I'm surprised we even saw any. Oh, we got another tanker right here, boiler tank. As Jesse and I were walking over, we saw one in the woods nearby. But it looks like this one is still installed here in the mill. Yep. A lot of piping too.
Still installed and perfectly in place.
Yeah, so clearly when the fire occurred, there was still a lot of stuff down here in this basement level. That's wild.
Check it out. It looks like we have a some sort of burn over here, coal.
Oh yeah,
coal burner.
That's true.
Right.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yep. Check it out.
Damn, that's so sick.
That's right. It looks like you would fill this up in the piping. Would obviously lead in.
Say 25 mils.
25 mils.
Huh. Yeah. So this was a coal boiler. You shovel coal in there.
Yep, and in the steam and whatnot goes through the pipes, and it helps power all the textiles within this building.
That's so cool to see. Keep in mind, guys, this is a 19th, 20th century mill, so this was long before electricity really took hold. So they still used coal and steam to power these mills, not like today. That's so cool. I didn't think we would see any of this stuff.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Fascinating. Check this out, guys. I think we found, was it the sprinkler system?
Yep. If you look right here, you can check it out. You can see it right on there. Rockwood sprinkler.
Oh, Worcester, Massachusetts.
Sorry. Rockwood sprinkler.
And it says that this was manufactured in Worcester, Mass, 1919. Oh, so the patent was placed in 1919, and it expired in 2022. Wow. So that patent already expired.
That's right. If anybody's looking for a new sprinkler system, they want a patent for themselves.
Yeah,
they can take this model, most likely.
That's so cool. Yeah, let's keep heading down here. Again, I just got to say, a lot of graffiti in this mill. I was not expecting there to be this much graffiti. I actually thought it would be a lot more barren. Okay, this is the very destroyed portion that Jesse and I were showing from an aerial perspective earlier, so I don't think we're going to go much deeper in there, but also just because it's so dangerous. But yeah, look at this. So much carnage. And we got some more rooms on the side.
Sorry, it looks like this is one of the electrical rooms.
Oh, look at these. Got some papers, some documents.
Perhaps this was an office.
That's true. Maybe a workstation. So these are just random things. So we got light bulbs, standard bulbs. Is that a Milwaukee?
Screw shooter.
Screw shooter, huh? So these were probably just, oh, you know what? This might have been a tool room because it looks like this was a tool shelf right here.
Yeah, I think this was a workshop.
Yeah, some sort of workshop right here.
So probably where they would repair any of the machines or keep all the equipment to do the repairs for the machines.
That's fascinating. Interesting.
That's cool.
You guys know when I go urban exploring, I love to find documents and records and artifacts. That's like my favorite thing ever. It's a lot of fun when you're exploring a place and you find stuff left behind. That's my favorite. So that's cool to see. All right, let's head out here. It looks like there's one more room on the side. And then I think Jesse and I are going to try to head up because we did actually find stairs. So this is just the boiler again. So yeah, Jesse and I are gonna head over there. We did see stairs going up. See if we can get up there, see what there is, and I think that about does it after. Okay, so we finally managed to find a way in here. You guys might remember that corridor we were down earlier. That's where it was, right over there. This is the last part of the building we have not yet explored, meaning this is the last part of the mill complex we're gonna be checking out today. One thing we noticed, check this out. There's a bunch of mattresses over here, like 4 or 5 of them. Almost makes me wonder if there are any squatters here during the summertime. As Jesse and I film this, it's early December. A little too cold for squatters to come in these buildings, but it almost makes me wonder, well, maybe not in that condition, but it does make me wonder if at one point there were squatters here, because whenever you see mattresses like this, that's a clear sign of people living here.
Yeah,
wow.
Especially all bunched up like this, you could probably assume that there was 1 or 2 people at one point living right here in this one little corner.
How would you like to sleep on that?
Looks better than my own mattress.
Looks very comfy.
That it does.
Yeah, guys, I think this is the last room we're going to be checking out. This was really cool, though. So this was the Glenallen Mill here in Winchendon, Massachusetts. I'm glad I got to bring you guys along with me. Yeah, this was really fun to explore. But again, cannot stress enough how dangerous this place was. You could really fall in at any moment. It's a miracle we haven't fallen through yet. But yeah, it's only a matter of time someday.
That's right.
Pretty cool. So somehow Jesse and I missed this. This was going to be the last clip before the outro, but I didn't want to not film this. We found a little room here with a bunch of documents and records and stuff. We're just going to look through because, again, you guys know how I love that stuff. Just see if there's anything of interest here. So it looks like there's some handwritten things. Are these dated? So this is about
it looks like this is somebody's homework.
Yeah, ADHD, bipolar disorder. It's weird.
Yeah.
So this is probably someone's homework.
Yeah, it looks like some locals in the area must have used this place as a hangout zone, doing homework and whatnot together.
Yeah, I think some teenagers must have come here.
Yeah, looks like we have ourselves a puzzle and some Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, really?
Check it out. It's a blank one.
It's a blank one.
But it's still a Card Against Humanity.
That's so weird. Yeah, there's a lot of strange things in here. A lot of these are obviously pretty modern, so a lot of this stuff was brought in later. But I don't know. It's always cool to see, you know, records and documents and stuff. And some of these things do look pretty old. Some don't. I don't know. I just wanted to show that off because we completely missed this room. But yeah, pretty fascinating. I do think, though, this about does it, so. Oh, and then we got this big shelf here. Pretty cool. Hey, thank you guys for joining me. I've been J-Mass as always, and this has been another dope New England adventure. So today we checked out the Glenallen Mill here in the town of Winchendon, Massachusetts, and I gotta say, that exceeded my expectations. I really wasn't expecting it to be as big as it was. I actually thought it would be a much smaller mill. Also didn't think there'd be as much graffiti and like signs of other people here as I thought. I thought it looked a lot more obscure than it really was. So again, exceeded my expectations. I kind of went here blind and had a great time checking it out. You know, as I mentioned, the Glenallen Mill was constructed in 1886 by the White brothers. It was used as a textile mill, you know, mostly getting materials from the south, bringing it up here in the north. It closed down in 1929. And as you can see, there's a lot of structural damage and stuff. Now, this mill does have a pretty dark history. There was a lot of child labor here, something that has to be acknowledged. But still, checking it out was really cool. It kind of felt like stepping back in time, you know, looking at early American industrialization. I thought it was a really cool piece of history. I had a great time checking it out. And of course, again, shout out to Jesse. Thank you for accompanying me on this trip. I had a great time. You know, Jesse, this is his second time exploring with me on this channel, hoping many more times to come. And yeah, what'd you think?
Honestly, really, really cool. Definitely exceeded all expectations. It's a lot bigger complex than it first let on. When we first showed up, it only looked like it was just the main building. We didn't even realize there was an entire second building.
Oh yeah,
back there that was part of this complex. Never even guessed it was there until we got here.
Yeah, it was way bigger than we thought. We came and we're like, wow, this place is massive.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, definitely follow Jesse on his YouTube. I'll, of course, link that. on this video. He does music production, music composition. He produces his own music, and I think it's really good. Check that out if you're into music and music composition. And as always, guys, if you love urban exploration, checking out abandoned sites, travel in New England, feel free to subscribe to my channel, or you can follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. But yeah, I've been JMass. That's been Jesse. And this was the Glenallen Mill here in Winchendon, Massachusetts. I'm sorry it was a very foggy day out today, but I still think it was a great exploration. Really enjoyed it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.